The pressure to set new goals can feel like a storm. We are told to want more, be more, achieve more. But what if this path leads only to more restlessness? What if the most profound changes come not from adding, but from letting go? The final goal we discuss is the key that unlocks all the others. Stay until the end to understand this foundation. Cultivate stillness. We find ourselves in a world that celebrates noise, the screens in our pockets, the endless streams of information, the constant expectation to be available, to respond, to react. This external noise creates an internal storm, a mind that is never at rest. It jumps from worry to desire, from a memory of the past to an anxiety about the future. And in this state of constant motion, we lose our ability to see clearly. We mistake the turbulence of the water for the water itself. The first and perhaps most fundamental practice for the time to come is to cultivate stillness. This is not about emptying the mind, for the mind's nature is to think. You cannot command the sky to be free of clouds, but you can learn to sit and observe the clouds as they pass without being carried away by them. This is the training, to find moments in your day, even just for a few minutes, to simply be. To sit, to walk, to drink a cup of tea, and to do only that. When you are walking, just walk. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the air on your skin. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently guide it back to the sensation of walking. This is not a failure, this is the practice itself. Each time you bring your attention back, you are strengthening a muscle, the muscle of presence. Think of a jar of water filled with mud. If you shake it, you cannot see through it. But if you place it on a table and allow it to be still, the mud will slowly settle to the bottom. The water does not need to do anything to become clear. Its nature is to be clear. It only requires stillness. Your mind is this water. The external pressures and internal reactions are the mud. The practice of stillness allows the sediment of your life to settle, revealing the clarity that was always there, underneath the turbulence. This clarity is the foundation for everything else. Without it, our actions are reactive. We are pulled by our habits, by the expectations of others, by our own unexamined impulses. We set goals from a place of confusion, and we wonder why they do not bring us peace. A house built on a shaky foundation will not stand, no matter how beautifully it is designed. Stillness is the process of building a solid ground for your life. It means becoming an observer of your own experience. When anger arises, you can see it as anger, a passing energy, rather than becoming the anger itself. When a desire for something new appears, you can watch it, investigate it, and understand its root. Where does this feeling come from? What is it I truly seek? From this place of calm observation, you can then choose your actions with wisdom, rather than being a puppet of your own conditioning. This is not a passive state. It is a state of profound potential. A master archer does not draw her bowstring while running. She plants her feet, quiets her breath, and finds a point of perfect stillness before releasing the arrow. All powerful and precise action is born from a place of stillness. So the goal is not to escape the world, but to engage with it more skillfully. The goal is to create small pockets of monastery in your everyday life. It can be the 5 minutes in your car before you walk into your home. It can be the time you spend washing the dishes, focusing only on the water and the soap. By cultivating these moments, you carry that stillness with you. The storm of the world may continue to rage, but you will have found the calm, unshakable center within it. This is the first and most vital structure to build. It is the ground upon which all meaningful growth can occur. It is the beginning of coming home to yourself. Master effort. In our culture, we are often obsessed with the result. We want the prize, the certificate, the final product. We look for shortcuts, for the life hack that will allow us to bypass the necessary work. But this mindset robs us of the most valuable part of any endeavor, the transformation that occurs through the process itself. The second practice, therefore, is to master effort. In our tradition, we call this concept of dedicated, persistent work Gong Fu. It is a word often associated with martial arts, but its true meaning is far broader. It means acquiring a skill, any skill, through time, energy, and patient repetition. It is the quality of the journey, not just the arrival at the destination. So for the year ahead, choose one thing. It does not have to be monumental. It could be learning to play a guitar, to write with clarity, to cook a healthy meal, or to truly listen to another person. The goal is not to become the world's greatest guitarist by the end of the year. The goal is to show up and practice the guitar even for just 15 minutes every day. The focus shifts from the outcome to the dedication. Why is this so powerful? Because life is unpredictable. You may never become a famous musician. The business you start may fail. The promotion you work for might go to someone else. If your happiness is attached only to these external outcomes, you are building a life of constant instability and disappointment. But if you find fulfillment in the process, in the focus of your practice, in the small improvements you notice, in the person you are becoming through your discipline, then you are building a source of strength that no one can take away from you. This is the true meaning of mastery. It is an internal state. Think of learning a single punch. The first time you do it, it is clumsy. Your form is wrong, your power is weak. After 100 repetitions, it is a little better. After 10,000, it has become a part of you. It is smooth, efficient, and powerful. But the true achievement is not the punch itself. The achievement is the patience you cultivated. It is the discipline to show up when you were tired. It is the humility to be a beginner again and again. It is the focus you developed by paying attention to every small detail of the movement. This transformation of your character is the real prize. The punch is merely the vehicle for that change. This is what it means to master effort. You are not just training a skill, you are training your mind, your will, your very being. So when you choose your practice for the year, release your attachment to the result. Fall in love with the repetition. Find the beauty in the struggle. Celebrate the act of showing up. This is how you build an unshakable inner structure. When you apply this mindset, every part of your life becomes a training ground. Your work is not just a way to earn money. It is a field to practice focus and diligence. Your relationships are not just for comfort. They are a place to practice patience and compassion. The Gong Fu is not in what you do, but in how you do it. This shifts your entire perspective on what it means to be successful. Success is no longer an external validation. It is the quiet, internal knowledge that you are giving your best, that you are honoring the process, and that you are slowly, patiently becoming a more refined and capable human being through your own consistent effort. Embrace hardship. There is a deep-seated wish in all of us for a life without problems. We dream of a smooth path, a life of comfort, ease, and constant pleasure. We see hardship as an enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. When difficulties arise, an illness, a financial struggle, a betrayal, we feel that life has gone wrong. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of existence. A tree that grows in a sheltered valley, protected from all wind, will be weak. Its roots will be shallow. The first strong storm that finds its way through will topple it easily. But the tree that grows on a high, windswept cliff, battered by the elements every day, grows strong. Its roots dig deep into the rock and its trunk becomes thick and resilient. The hardship is what gives the tree its strength. The third practice then is to learn to embrace hardship. This does not mean you should seek out suffering. That is not wisdom. It means that when suffering and difficulty inevitably arrive, you change your relationship to them. Instead of seeing them as a punishment or a mistake, you see them as a teacher. You see them as the wind that will force your roots to grow deeper. You see them as the pressure that can transform the carbon of your character into a diamond. The goal is not a life without challenges. The goal is to become the person who can meet any challenge with strength, equanimity, and an open heart. When you are faced with a difficult situation, the first instinct is to resist, to say, "This should not be happening." This resistance is where most of our pain comes from. It is like fighting with the waves of the ocean. You will only exhaust yourself. The practice is to first accept the reality of the situation. This is the wave. It is here. The next step is to bring the stillness you have cultivated to bear on the moment. Observe your reaction. Is there fear? Is there anger? Is there self-pity? See these emotions as clouds passing through the sky of your awareness. Do not judge them. but do not be swept away by them either. This creates a space between the event and your response. In that space lies your freedom. You can then ask a new question. Not, why is this happening to me? But what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What quality is this situation asking me to develop? Perhaps it is asking for patience. Perhaps it is asking for courage. Perhaps it is asking for forgiveness. The difficulty becomes your training ground. It is the weight that, when lifted, builds your spiritual and emotional muscles. Each challenge you navigate with this mindset leaves you more capable, more resilient, and more compassionate. You begin to understand that the smoothest life is not the most meaningful one. The most meaningful lives are often forged in fire. They belong to those who have faced the darkness and learned to find the light within it. So, as you move forward, do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. See every obstacle as an opportunity in disguise. This practice will transform your fear into courage and your suffering into wisdom. It will allow you to walk through the storms of life not with your head down, bracing for impact, but with your head up, ready to learn and to grow stronger. Deepen connection. We live with a powerful illusion, the illusion of the separate self. We feel that I am in here and the rest of the world is out there. This feeling creates a sense of isolation, competition, and fear. We protect our little island, seeing others as either threats, tools, or irrelevant. But this is a trick of the mind. The fourth practice is a direct challenge to this illusion. It is the goal to deepen connection, to understand, not just intellectually but in your heart, that you are not separate. You are a leaf on a vast, interconnected tree. Your well-being is inseparable from the well-being of the leaves around you and from the health of the entire tree. To harm another is, in a very real sense, to harm yourself. To help another is to help yourself. This is the truth of our existence. The practice of deepening connection begins with the skill of listening. Not the kind of listening where we are simply waiting for our turn to speak, but a deep, present, and compassionate listening. When you are with another person, can you offer them the gift of your full attention? Can you put aside your own stories, your own judgments, your own need to fix their problems, and simply be with them? Can you listen not just to their words, but to the emotions behind the words? Can you hear their joy, their pain, their unspoken needs? This kind of listening is one of the most profound acts of love. It says to the other person, "You matter, I see you." In a world where everyone is screaming to be heard, the person who can truly listen is a sanctuary. This extends beyond your immediate interactions. It is a way of seeing the world. When you see someone acting out of anger or greed, can you look beyond the behavior and see the suffering that is driving it? Can you recognize that their actions come from a place of confusion, from the same fundamental fears and desires that exist within you? This does not mean you condone harmful actions. You must still protect yourself and others from harm. But it means you do not add your own hatred to the world. You can act with a firm hand, but a soft heart. You understand that the person in front of you is a product of conditions, just as you are. This is the foundation of compassion. It is the ability to see the shared humanity that connects us all beneath the surface-level differences. This practice requires humility. It requires you to step down from the pedestal of your own righteousness and meet others on level ground. It is the recognition that you have as much to learn from any person you meet as you have to teach. The homeless person on the street, the difficult colleague at work, the family member who challenges you, they are all your teachers. They are all mirrors reflecting parts of yourself. The goal is to see every interaction as an opportunity to practice this connection, to leave people feeling a little better, a little more seen, a little less alone than before they met you. This is not about being an extrovert or having many friends. It is about the quality, not the quantity of your connection. A single moment of true, deep connection can be more nourishing than 100 superficial conversations. This practice heals the illusion of separation and allows you to experience the profound joy of being part of the whole. Practice emptiness. We have arrived at the final and perhaps most subtle practice. It is the one that supports and makes possible all the others. At first, the word may sound strange, even negative. The practice is to cultivate emptiness. In the West, Emptiness is often confused with nothingness, a void, a lack. But in our way of thinking, emptiness is not a lack. It is a state of pure potential. It is the open space that allows for everything to arise. A cup is only useful because it is empty. A room is only useful because it is empty. Your mind is most powerful not when it is full of rigid ideas, past grievances, and future anxieties, but when it is open, spacious, and receptive. This practice is about creating that inner space. It is the art of letting go. Throughout our lives, we accumulate so much. Not just physical objects that clutter our homes, but mental and emotional baggage that clutters our minds. We cling to old identities, to who we used to be. We cling to past hurts, replaying them over and over. We cling to our achievements, building our sense of self upon them. We cling to our opinions, defending them as if they were our very lives. All of this clinging creates rigidity. We become hard, brittle, and fearful. There is no room for anything new to enter. The practice of emptiness is the intentional, gentle act of unclenching your fist. It is letting go of what you are carrying so that your hands are free to receive what life is offering you right now. It is sweeping the floors of your inner temple to make space for peace. How do you practice this? You begin by observing your attachments. Notice what you are clinging to. Is it a certain outcome you desperately want? Let it go. This doesn't mean you stop working towards it with effort, but you release your life or death grip on the result. You do your best and you accept what comes. Are you clinging to a story about yourself? I am an anxious person. I am not good enough. See these as just stories, not absolute truths. Let them go. Create the space for a new story to be written. Are you holding onto a grudge against someone who wronged you? Realize that this grudge is a heavy stone you are choosing to carry. Forgiving is not for them, it is for you. It is you putting down the stone so that you can walk more freely. It is the act of emptying yourself of poison. This emptiness, this inner spaciousness, is the ultimate freedom. It is the source of true creativity because new ideas can only arise in an open mind. It is the source of resilience because a person who is not attached to a specific outcome can adapt to any situation. They are like bamboo, which bends in the wind, rather than an old oak, which snaps. This practice ties all the others together. You need the stillness to see what you are clinging to. You need the disciplined effort to practice letting go every day. You need to embrace the hardship of looking at your own attachments, and you need the connection to realize that what you are letting go of is only an illusion of a separate self anyway. By practicing emptiness, you are not losing yourself. You are discovering the boundless, peaceful, and powerful self that was always there, hidden beneath all the clutter. This is the ultimate goal, to become so beautifully empty that you can hold the entire universe. These are not goals to be written down on a piece of paper and forgotten. They are not achievements to be ticked off a list. They are a direction for your life. They are a path to walk every single day, a path of cultivating stillness in the noise, of finding joy in the effort, of growing stronger through hardship, of healing the world through connection, and of finding freedom in letting go. This is a transformation not of what you have, but of who you are. The journey itself is the destination. The path is the goal. I had to pause the video multiple times just to breathe and let this sink in. The analogy of the muddy water finally settling when left still, that's my mind. I've spent years trying to fight my anxious thoughts, which felt like just shaking the jar more violently. The idea that clarity isn't something I have to create, but something I just have to allow to reveal itself, is life-changing. Thank you for this profound wisdom. I feel like I finally have a true direction, not just a to-do list.